Why not see those we hold in high regard, especially those through God's eyes? We don't because we identify as someone who should be receiving something from them. More love, more understanding, more support, more acknowledgement, etc. But of all the people we know, don't those we hold in high regard most deserve to be seen through the eyes of God? If we don't, we lock ourselves into a small, false identity. So, even those we think have highest character and vision, why not change how we see? From being disappointed and judging them for their limitations to enfolding even their process of transformation. Forgive and see them also moving in this ever-moving, evolving, creative process of transformation. Then watch for impulses that heaven gives us to assist in that. But these will be done in love, not demand. How do we see the situations in our lives? Recently I was talking to a person who described the distressed psychological condition of a person they love. I happen to know many of the people involved in this for quite a few years. So it was easy for me to see the root of this psychological condition and how it had been building for years. Only recently had it reached this tragic condition. Now, in such cases, most people think a psychologist can help. That might address part of the problem. But I could see that until the family healed and actually becomes a healing influence for that person, the best that any psychologist could do would just be temporary help, possibly just medicating the person to reduce their symptoms. When we see things as evolving, we begin to see the roots of problems long before glaring symptoms appear. So another situation, someone described to me the rigid, blocked attitude of a person they love. I know this person's background, and immediately I saw that the same pattern had shown dramatically decades before, but still had not cleared. So in both these cases, unhealthy patterns had played out in actually several people's lives and brought things to crisis. So only when the people who are involved in this, not just the person with the tragic condition, but only when the people involved in this change and heal, will the pattern clear. So sometimes patterns must play out in the lives of many people in several plots before the person can begin to see the distortions in themselves and clear. Sometimes I wonder how large a stage a person's drama needs before that person can see truly their own distortions and make the changes to heal the crisis. Perhaps, like me, you can see an example of this in President Trump. Many people in America and actually other nations have been drawn into his drama. How many tragedies must play out before he and those really close to him begin to see the distortion and clear and heal it? Who in this drama will see things through God's eyes and express the truth according to the law of love to initiate purification and healing. I see some people attempting to do this through commentaries in the media and books, but most of these people are quite far removed from the center stage of this drama. So their influence hasn't reached into the heart of Trump and his immediate circle. Well, fortunately, none of us are that closely involved in Trump's drama. So let's look at a drama that's common in our lives. I'll just describe one. This is a phase that most people go through after they begin to experience true identity. It's a trap, but we don't realize it's a trap. After a person fully commits to serving God, they start seeing how other people are not fully committed to serving God. How other people are not expressing true identity. And from, let's say, from our newly gained wisdom, we try to correct these other people, blind to the fact that we're really judging them, and also we're not honoring the cycle of their transformation. So we do things that are out of step with their cycle. Usually things that are somewhat demanding or manipulative. The light and love of true being in that case is missing from our expression. And if a person continues in that trap, their experience of true identity will fade. My mentor, Tom, told me that in his early years on Sunrise Ranch, he fell into that trap. Yolanda noticed what Tom was doing, and Yolanda said, "Tom, do you realize that what you've been doing recently is focusing the devil on Sunrise Ranch?" That shocked Tom out of his arrogance and judgment. So arrogance and judgment can trap people at any time, but especially in the early phases of awakening. I once heard Martin say something about our tendency to judge other people, and it impressed me deeply. I sensed it was how he purified his own expression. He said, there is a continual reflection of what we are actually expressing in the mirror of what comes back to us if we will be exercised by it. So, for example, if I think someone is being disrespectful, it's a clue. Look in the mirror. How am I being disrespectful? If I think someone is prejudiced in the use of their authority, how am I doing the same? So in short, reflect on myself first when I think someone is inconsiderate, demanding, etc. This is how we may be exercised by what we see versus projecting on others.